there, everyone. I apologize.
Anyway, I hope you all had a lovely weekend. I know I did, even though I had my grandson. It wasn't hectic, it was really, really quiet. I'll tell a lie, tell a lie. He came over Friday, my grandson did. And then my daughter come with my other grandson and said, we're going down to the lake, the river, and Vincent wanted to know if he'd come. I said, well, Ellis is here. She said, that's okay. So we've got our stuff together. We went and got his fishing nets. And we went down to the river. Oh boy, what a mistake. It hasn't been cut down, the grass, verges, the banks, anything. It's not been cut down, so we can't get to the fecking river. Right? So we thought, okay, we'll have walk along a bit. Walk up a bit and along up the river a bit. And see if we can get down a bank that way to the river. No. This little river expedition with our little fishing nets full of lads turned into a fecking hiking edition. Right? Now, I have trouble walking, especially up hills. And that's what we was doing a lot of. Because we'd go up a hill to come down a fecking hill. And feck was they big hills. Those really steep. And it's like, oh my God, I'm going to sleep, I'm going to fall. Right? Because last time I went down that river, I nearly went head first in it. Right? So, and I went to my daughter, I said, I don't think we're going to get down the river from here. She said, okay, we'll go back and we'll go along a bit further. So we managed to get down this one embankment, and fuck, that was hard. But then we couldn't get out of it. Couldn't get out of this in this ditch area. So we found our way out eventually. And we found a path which would take us along this cutting little pathway that had been walked through, which would take us up to the main path. Oh no, Vincent didn't want to go that way. Oh no. So Ellis went with my daughter, I went with Vincent. Which way did we have to go? Through the brambles, through the trees, over dips and whatever. Nettles, you name it. I was getting stunk to high how. And then we're literally 5 feet from this pathway. And Vincent goes, I'm not coming, I'm not moving. I want my mum. So his mum had to go in and walk him out. He gets up onto the main path. And that was a bit of a struggle, believe me. Because sometimes I thought, I'm either going to go flat on my face, or I'm going to fall backwards and roll down this hill again. So we get up onto the main path, and my grandson's going, Ellis, I'm never coming down this river again with Auntie D. I said, don't worry, sweetheart. Next time we come, Auntie D's going to do a recce. And she's going to come down here by herself or with someone else and make sure that we can get down to that fecking river. Without having to go over nettles and walk through bramble and all that lot. So, what was turned out to be a nice, relaxing afternoon turned out to be a fecking hiking afternoon. I was shattered. I walked into my daughter-in-law's because I needed a pee, and her house was closer than mine. And I looked like been pulled through a hedge backwards. I think never again. And my granddaughter was going, but I wanted to come. I said, Olivia, you wouldn't have lasted 2 seconds down there. You wouldn't have lasted 2 seconds down there. I'm not joking. The grass was as tall as her, as my granddaughter. We'd have lost her. My grandson fell out. He slipped over going down this one pathway. And me and my daughter were just peeing ourselves, literally. She's going, oh, God, I'm going to pee myself. I said, don't, because if you start, I'm going to start. So, yeah, that was a fun afternoon. We gets back and Ellis said, what we doing tomorrow, Gran? I went, I don't know what you want to do. He said, nothing. I want to chill out tomorrow. I went, okay, we'll have a chill out day on Saturday. We won't do nothing. We're not going anywhere. We just stay in the house or in the garden. We're not going out. So we had a bit of adventure. As we said, it's an adventure. Look on it like that. I'm trying to keep an eye out for my one cat. He hasn't come home yet. And he's normally in at 6 o'clock and he don't normally go out again. But he's gone back out and he hasn't come back in, even though I've called him, the little fucker. I don't know if you like anyone from the UK who watches it, who'll be watching this from what is it? When you watch it once the video's been put out. Those new things that the government's trying to do, the YouTube, it's not going to affect our channels. It's not going to affect channels like ours or the crime channels and things like that. It's only affecting the channels that put out anything about the news. What's going on in the UK, be it England, Wales, Scotland, even abroad, France and EU, all that lot. They're trying to stop those channels getting the information out. They're not closing the channels down, they're just making it. They want YouTube to push out their news channels, like BBC One and Channel 4 and all that lot. We don't want them fucking channels. I don't even sign up to those channels. So if they start coming up on my analytics, I'm going to go berserk. I'm going to give them the thumbs down and feck them off. I don't want them. But the one channel I do watch for my news, he's on about moving to the USA. A, for his own safety, and B, he'll still be able to report and his channel will be pushed out just as much over there than it would be over here. Which is a shame because it's forcing a lot of channels. There's a lot of channels affected by this. A lot of big channels. And it's because they don't want us knowing the truth. So, that's my little news update. So I'm looking at the gap under the bedroom door. Because if my cat comes in, I'll see him by the bedroom door. And I can run over and let him go in then and shut the bedroom window. But he's not showing up at the bedroom door. I'll disappear about 8:30 just to give him a little call and get his backside in. He's had a scratch on the side of his face right by his eye. I think another cat had a swipe at him. And today, he come in and looked, I went, oh God, you've knocked that again, haven't you? So I've got the tissue on him and we're not bleeding. But then he sat there and he cleaned himself up. I went, that's better if you clean yourself up than me. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to put anything like antiseptic on him. Clean yourself up your own way, the way cats do. So he's got a little scar on the side of his face, which I'm not happy about. And then my son's moaning about his beans that he's growing. He's growing these broad, like, runner beans, and they're doing really well. He had 10 little runner beans starting, right? The start of a runner bean, 10 of them, down to 1. And I went to him, I said, wonder what's eating them then? I went, oh, it could be mice. He said, yeah, they're nasty feckers, them mice. These animals around here, these Ouija animals are fecking nasty. I went, tell me about it. Tell my poor baby boy about it. You know what I mean? They're nasty around here. The mice as well. Fecking nasty. But we think it's the mice. Because the mice are the ones that will climb up the fence and on up the poles and things like that to get to them. Unless it's birds. But I've grown rungy beans before with my husband, and we never had trouble like that. Not with the birds, not with mice, anything. But something has been picking at his beans, and he's not happy. My sweet peas are literally, I'm not joking. I had 24 cuttings. I didn't expect 24 cuttings to survive, and I did. I planted all 24 cuttings in this big pot. Massive, big pot. I think each cutting has doubled in its size, and it's had like more cuttings growing off that one cutting and things like that. So, well, I've got to get some string off my son tomorrow, so I can just loosely tie the string round them to stop them falling over. So they stay up against the sticks and the wire. Fun of gardening. Anyway, we mentioned the last time I was here, which would have been Thursday, because I wasn't here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, last night. Mentioned about, what's that place called? Hold on, I will find it. Bledsoe Creek Park, State Park, right? And we have got a little video we can watch where it's just taking you a drive around thing, video sort of thing. And two things popped into my head today when I was getting this live ready for today. And the one is, it's a park where you can go camping. You can go take your RVs, your trailers, whatever. Yeah, there's spots for everything. Now, I don't know if you remember, but hold on, I'll see if I can get my old calendar out. Hold on. Where's my old calendar? Oh my lord. What the hell have I got in this drawer? Ah, there it is. It's a bigger drawer. Right? We've got on the roundabout, Sebastian went missing on the 26th of February. And roundabout, hold on, I've got to get my light up so I can see. The 27th or 28th, right? I think it was the 28th. Chrissy Poo took a 17-hour trip, 17+ hour trip back to Mississippi or wherever his fifth wheel was. Well, if he went on the Wednesday and he stayed overnight, he'd be back on the Thursday, yes, with the fifth wheel. But the fifth wheel didn't show up on their driveway until the 24th of March. That's literally 2 weeks later. Right? And everyone was going, well, where was this camper? Where was he? People say, it's not the same one. The colour is different. But I think that's just from the sunlight and the angle of cameras and things like that. Sorry about that. So, then I was watching that little video today. And I thought, I wonder, could they have brought his fifth wheel here? Could he brought his fifth wheel here? Parked it up, paid. It's all free. You don't pay for it. It's all free. You park the fifth wheel up, you go camping. You do what you want. Right? could they park that fifth wheel up for a couple of weeks there? And could they have had Sebastian in that fifth wheel there? So we're going to watch this video and let me know in the comments what you think. Right? Because it's a bit weird that he went back on the 28th. 28th. It's got to be the 28th to 29th because he kept saying he's got to go and get his fifth wheel. Otherwise, he's got to pay for another month's rent. Right? So it had to be the 28th. 26, 27, 28, 29. Yeah. There's 29 days in February that year. It was a leap year. So he went back Wednesday and Thursday. Why was the camper not seen in the driveway until the 14th of March? Which is literally, if he went on the 20, come back on the 28th, he'd be left on the 28th and come back on the 29th. It's literally 2 weeks later that the camper is on their drive. Right? So, and I've always wondered, where was that camper for 2 weeks? And why was there such a rush to get down there to get your fifth wheel? That wouldn't have been on my fucking mind if I'd have had a fifth wheel parked down in Mississippi about having to pay another month's rent. That would not have come into my tiny fucking brain if I had a child missing. Would not. Especially that literally a week after it showed up on their driveway, on the 24th of March, they was back down there. So why didn't you just pay for that month? Leave his fifth wheel there. Okay, I'll owe you a month. Okay, I'll pay that up. You know what I mean? Why didn't you just do that? Why did you feel, oh, I can't pay an extra month? I've got to go and get my fifth wheel and spend 17 plus hours getting it. And we know their back round trip is about 7 hours. Right? So that leaves him 10 hours to pack the van up, close everything down, take the skirting off, whatever he's got on the round the fifth wheel, take that skirting off, and make sure the cupboards are shut, the bed's all made, and everything's put away. It does not take you another 10 hours to do that. But then he said, well, then I went to sleep, I had a few hours sleep before coming home the next day. Well, why didn't you bring the fifth wheel home? Why did it take you nearly 2 weeks before that fifth wheel is back on your driveway? Right? It doesn't make sense. Even if it was to say, well, it needed a good clean, why can't you clean it on your driveway? Can't you have cleaned that on your driveway? You got a big driveway. Why couldn't they have cleaned it on their driveway? So, we're going to watch this Bledsoe Creek State Park. It's just a person who's at this state park already and he's around there just videoing it, okay? But I've got to take the sound off it because I can't have the sound on it. Mute that. Right, but then I'll put my own little bit of music to it, okay? I always like to try and find videos of places like parks. See all the trees around there? I don't know if you have to register when you go there or whatever. I don't know. Be right back. See what I mean by these fifth wheelers and whatever? They got different places for different size fifth wheels and all that lot. Looks a nice place to go to. But could this be a possibility? Could they have brought their RV, their fifth wheel, to this area, parked it up with little Sebastian inside? Because it did not show up on their driveway for nearly 2 weeks after he went and got this RV. Big rush to go and get this fifth wheel.
your tongue when we're talking about what I need. Think you're the silent type.
Because he's only shown you so far the main run. Right? He's not going down these side roads and things like that. I don't know if he does. I'm sure you'd have to pay for something for this. Because you're getting your water and your electric from here, so you've got to pay for those amenities, haven't you? See, look at the deer. Wow. Now he's going. No, he's not going down there. I thought he was then. Look at the deer though, so close to the road. So you can't get down that way. And the gates close at 7 p.m, meaning you can't get into this park after 7 p.m. And this is more the smaller, like little caravans and tenting people.
Did you wait too long? Tell him that you love him, but he's already gone, darling. Did you make two wrongs? Know that daddy never made a right before, darling.
Right, we keep looking at this. And it's not that far from where they live.
my town, knowing damn well we can press rewind. One day I'll be everything you ever wanted. Until then I'll be out here fighting like it's nothing. Through the cold dark winter, it's feeling like a cold dark winter and the sun still behind the trees. Yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave.
And I believe
It's feeling like a cold dark winter and the sun still behind the trees. Yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave. One day I'll be everything you ever wanted. Until then I'll be out here fighting like it's nothing. Through the cold dark winter, it's feeling like a cold dark winter. It's feeling like a cold dark winter. It's feeling like a cold dark winter and the sun still behind the trees. Yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave. Yeah. It's feeling like a cold dark winter and the sun still behind the trees. Yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave. It's feeling like a cold dark winter and the sun still behind the trees. Yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave. Yeah. It's feeling like a cold dark winter.
But could this be a place where that fifth wheel of theirs was for 2 weeks before it turned back up on their driveway? Because it definitely wasn't in that on their driveway.
Did you wait too long? Tell him that you love him, but he's already gone, darling. Did you make two wrongs? No.
So for 2 weeks from when he picked it up and brought it back from Mississippi or wherever it was, where was it for those 2 weeks? Could Sebastian being in that fifth wheel? Because there's some urgency to get back down there. Because like I said, if that had been me with a missing child, with my own child or stepchild, going to pick up a fifth wheel would not have been on my priority of list.
Baby, why won't you talk to me?
Or maybe probably got someone else to go and pick it up if you really didn't want to pay the money. But when you think 24 days later, they was back down there. Didn't make any sense.
Hardware store, don't get you started talking about sports, baby. Why won't you talk to me? Can't get your tongue when we're talking about what I need. Think you're the silent type, but that ain't what I like. I need a man who knows how to speak. So talk to me. Yeah,
But look, just take for instance how big this area is. It's got the RVs and motorhomes. It's got camping. You can go fishing. You can pay to go kayaking, unless you got your own kayak. So I suppose you don't have to pay then if you got your own. So much to do here.
talk to me.
I think he speeded this part of the video up to keep it within a certain time. Because we're now on our way out of here again. I think. Oh no. It's a boat launch. Feck, it could be in the middle of that river somewhere. We don't know. There's a feckin' boat launch. And fishing dock. Could he be here? Has this feckin' park been searched? Has this river been searched? Drained? Whatever they do to it. Has it? Has anyone been over it with a sonar? Well, we're coming up to nearly 2.5 years. We're coming up to 2.5 years. It has to be somewhere. Is it being hidden somewhere? Or is he no longer with us? It's so big, this park. Was anyone at this park in February? Do they remember a fifth wheeler turning up? Do they remember seeing anyone like Chris or someone else related to him there? You know what I mean? Is this a possibility? Could this have been where they took that fifth wheel when bringing it back from Mississippi for the 2 weeks before it turned up back on their driveway on the 14th of March? Could that be where the fifth wheel was for 2 weeks? Could they have had Sebastian in there for a while? Because I can't understand what the rush was to get back to wherever the fifth wheel was in Mississippi. Right? To bring the fifth wheel home. Because he didn't want to pay an extra month. When literally 24 days later he's back down there. Why? If Sebastian hadn't gone missing, he'd have had to pay the other month. So why not pay the extra month? Because that, as I keep saying, that will not. Someone would have had to have gone, Ange, what about your fifth wheel? Oh, you know what? Go fuck my fifth wheel. My son's stepson or my son is missing. He won. It's like the day Sebastian went missing. Katie phoned him around about 3 minutes past 6, 5 past 6 in the morning. He climbs up that. He goes to work for 6:30, even though he said he was out 5:15. Why the hell would he turn up at 5:15? I do not know. Right? He climbs up that tower ready for 7 a.m. in the morning. Because you can't start using that tower till 7 a.m. There's a noise restriction because it's where it is. It's by a hospital. Would you like to be working up at 7 a.m.? Would you like... Oh, I'll tell you now, my grandson slept in Was it Saturday? Did he come over Saturday or was it Friday? No, he came over Friday. He slept in on, I think it was Saturday morning. Saturday or Sunday? Sunday. I was up at 8. He got up. I was about 7:30. He got up about 9. Why didn't you wake me up, Gran? Why would I want to wake you up, sweetheart? You're sleeping. I'm not going to disturb you while you're sleeping. Not happening. Right? Unless we've got to go out somewhere. So, can you imagine you've got children who are having treatment and then being woken up at crack of fucking dawn with these big cranes going? Nah. 7 o'clock is early enough because at that time they're going round getting them ready for the breakfast, and then after the breakfast they're doing all the bed changes and all that lot. Right, and the kids are waking up round about 6:30, between 6 and 7, they're waking up. So you don't want them woken up any early because kids can be grumpy as fuck. You woke me up. Bit like an old man when he hasn't had his sleep, or me when I'm, what the fuck you waking me up for? Better be good. Better be fucking good to be waking me up this time in the morning. That's my answer to everything. I can't even open my eyes. My eyes are stuck together. They won't open before a certain time. So, we know we can't get up in that start that crane till about 7. He knew at 6:05, allegedly, Sebastian was missing. So why did he go to work and climb up that tower? Why didn't he go to work or phone his work up and say, look, I won't be in today, sorry, short notice, but there's a problem at home, I've got to get back home. I'll phone you later and let you know. Okay? Boom, gone. Boom, in the car, on the way home. Right? Why couldn't he have done that? Because he wanted to put as much distance between him and Stafford Court. It makes me wonder if they hadn't pulled him off that crane at 10 o'clock in the morning, how long would he stay there till? How long, Chris, perhaps you could answer this, how long would you stay there for if you hadn't been pulled off that fucking crane at 10 a.m. in the morning? Would it have been till 3, 5, 7? We know they don't work nights because there's a noise restriction, plus there's a JLR was there walking around the outside of that site and no cranes were working. Not one crane. So, when would you have come home if they hadn't pulled you off that crane, Chris? When would you have come home? Or wouldn't you have come home? Would you have gone back to your little fifth wheel and sat in there going, what am I going to do with Sebastian in here? You know what I mean? Because if Sebastian was in that fifth wheel, how did you keep him quiet? Was that fifth wheel ever checked by dogs? Did they have the dogs go in that fifth wheel? Doubt it. Because by the time that fifth wheel turned up, yeah? By the time that fifth wheel turned up on their driveway on the 14th of March, the searching had all stopped. The searching stopped around about the 8th or 9th. Hang on. No, the searching stopped around about, because they did that interview with Duchess on the 3rd and WSMV News on the 4th. So the searching stopped around about the 2nd. The 2nd or 3rd of March. Just a week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 days they gave to this case. So you were safe then to bring your fifth wheel back on the 14th. So why did it take you an extra week to get the fifth wheel home? Why did it take you from 28th to 29th of February to the 14th of March for that fifth wheel to turn up back on your drive. Being as you put this big hurrah up about, I've got to go and get my fifth wheel, otherwise I've got to pay an extra month. Go spin on it, Chris. We don't believe your bullshit no more. We want to know one thing. Where's Sebastian? That's all we want. That's all Seth wants. Is where is his son? Where is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? Now, I watch a lot of crime things, right? And I've been watching a few today. And they just play through, right? And some I've noticed about everyone I've watched where children have gone missing. And then it comes out that the parents have done something. Yeah? The parents are involved with the disappearance of this child. You know what that one thing is? They don't go searching. They do not go searching. Now, if that was me, and say when I was with my husband, when my kids were little, and one of my kids had gone missing, and the police said to me, we'd rather you stay at home, Mrs. Raven. I'll go, see that finger? You spin on that while I go out and search for my child. Right? If they go, but we don't, my husband can here, he can answer phones. He can answer a phone. He will be here if my son or daughter turns back up. He'll be here. He'll phone me then and let me know so I can be here. We don't need two of us sitting round with our thumbs up our backsides like the police do. You know how the police love to use one hand to eat donuts and one hand to have the thumb up the backside, doing fuck all. So, this is what got me thinking. When I watched that video, I knew you could take fifth wheels there and whatever, but it didn't really click until I watched this video today. Could they put their fifth wheel on this area? On this? Now, Google Maps someone's. I'm not doing good. Hopefully, Google Maps will work better than Google Earth. Because every time I go on Google Earth, Restream and StreamYard tend to kick me off. So I thought I'll go with Google Maps. And you can see from the map how big an area this park is. It's fucking massive. Want to get rid of someone or something? This is the ideal place. Right, let's play. Let me share this with you. Oh, I've got to take this off. Hopefully I don't have no problems with Google Maps. Right, so here's... Oh, God, my mouse is working. Why my mouse working? This Bledsoe Creek Park. Now that guy just took us down this road out. All the way down here. All the way down to the end. I'm not sure if he took us down these little roads. It did take us down some. So probably did take us down. But it's massive. Yeah, I'm going to zoom out. I've got to go and get my wire to charge this. I think my mouse is playing up. Where was you tonight, Toby? What you got me for? Wouldn't mind, but I had this on charge all day yesterday, so I don't know why it's playing up now. That's better. So this is Bledsoe Park, State Park, Bledsoe Creek State Park. All right, let's go down a bit. All right. Here it all is, here. Don't know if this is park, right? See, there's the boat launch that he took us down. Took us down that boat launch, and I think there's maybe a boat launch here. But that's a public boat launch, so could be a possible boat launch there. But he took us down here. It's either that one or that one he took us down. But you can see it's big. You would someone never. It's just trees. And they want us to believe they checked this area. I don't think this park has been checked. Hi, Anne. How was your weekend, sweetheart? So, I don't think this park has been checked. It's a big fake-off park. I was just showing a video of this park, and he literally just drove us. Bringing pictures of a fifth wheel up round about the 28th or 29th. And he stopped over. It took him 17 hours to pick this fifth wheel up because he had to get his beauty sleeping. Don't worry about your wife at home whose son is missing, Chris. Nah. Again, by spending that amount of time away from home, he's distancing himself. He's putting as much distance as he can between him and Stafford Court. He did it on the day Sebastian went missing, and he's doing it literally 2 days later. Right? So I'm thinking, he went and got that fifth wheel around about the 28th, 29th. Could he have brought it to Bledsoe Creek State Park? You've seen the video. If you haven't seen that video, Anne, it's actually on, you know that link you sent me in the email? It's actually in there, on there. It's on that link. When you open that link up and scroll down a little bit, you'll see it's about 28, 29 minutes long. And you can get all RVs, all sizes of RVs. You can get tents there. Little pop-up tent things, trailer things. There's trailers which pop up open into tent things. And I think they're so cute. Me, I'd be worried that the on the side is going to tip. But yeah, you can get all sizes in there. Tents, camping, trailers, fifth wheels, mobile homes, large mobile homes, everything. Don't know how much they pay for it because I should imagine you got to pay for it because you get your electric and your water hookup. So yeah, I was saying at the beginning, Anne, we went for, well, my daughter come up on I think it was on the Friday. Yeah, be on the Friday with her little boy, and I wanted to go down to the river. It's lovely down by the river at the back of my door. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I said, yeah, okay. Told Ellis, oh yeah, I want to go. So we went out to his, got his fishing net, and the two lads walking down the road with the fishing nets, ready to try and catch some fresh air. Right? We gets down there, he goes down the back, and we're walking down this trail. Problem. Big problem. They hadn't cut the grass back. So to get to the river we wanted to go to, we'd have to go through all these bushes and with the stingers and everything. Just send me in. That's what I was doing. Send you. You go and check it out, Mum. See if we can get through. Right? Now, I'm sure we could have got through, but Vincent wasn't having it, not with stingers. So we thought, okay, give up on here. We'll walk up here a bit, see if we can get down to the river further up. We went down one embankment, and fuck, it was one embankment. It's very, very steep. Very steep, very slippery. And then we had to get back out of it. Yeah, we had to get back out of it. So we climbed up a hill again. Then we goes down another embankment. That wasn't it. Couldn't get to the river there, so we had to climb. I'm not sure if I was going to fall flat on my face or roll backwards and roll back down the fucking hill. That's how bad it was getting up this hill. And then we come to this area for, well, how do we get out of here? There's this little path round. My one grandson went with my daughter, but my other grandson, Vincent, his dad, he was going, no, I'm not going that way. No, we can't go the nice easy way, can we, Vincent? Don't know why he wouldn't go that way. Do not know. We had to go through brambles, through bushes, through stingers, through trees, everything, to try and make our way to the path that he didn't want to go along in the first place. We get within 5 feet, 5 feet, actually 5 steps away from the main path. No, not moving. His mum had to go in and guide him out. Then we had to climb up this other fucking hill to get onto the main path. My grandson Ellis is going, I'm never going fishing again with Auntie Dee. I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. He gets back to mine. He said, I went, what do you want to do tomorrow, so Ellis? He went, chill out, Day. Don't want to do nothing tomorrow, Gran. I went, okay, we won't do nothing then. So Saturday, it's just, we chilled out the rest of Friday. Right. And then Saturday, we got up and we did sod all. But it was too wet to go out as well because it had been raining. So we're doing sod all Saturday. But he's happy if he doesn't have to go out. If he can go in the garden, even better. But if he can't, he's quite happy staying in the house. But oh my God. I went, next time, Dee, you do a recce first. Make sure we can get down to that river. Because I'm not coming back down here if they're not going to cut these grass things down. You know what I mean? It was so, and my niece was going, my granddaughter was going, I wanted to come. I said, Olivia, you wouldn't have lasted 2 seconds down there. The weeds were as tall as her. That's how tall the grass was. And the stingers were just as tall. I said, and I weren't being prepared to fucking carry you. Because I'm not steady on my feet when I'm walking along these paths as it is. So, yeah, we had a good weekend there, otherwise. Anyway, Bledsoe Creek State Park. And as you can see on the map, we've got this river. Just say what this river is. Just say what it is. Well, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called now. Cumberland River. This leads into Cumberland River. Right? Was this searched? Was this searched? Now, if it's going into Cumberland River, it's got to be flowing that way. And it's coming with a tidal river. Hold on, I'm going to find some out. I'm going to Google it. Is oh fuck off. Tennessee, a tidal. Oh, no, spelling and spelling tidal river. No, we got beyond Cumberland Falls. The river turns abruptly west once again and continues. Didn't tell me whether it's tidal. I don't think it is a tidal. It's too long. Let's just see what this says. It might say it in here. It's 688 mile long river, drains almost 18,000 square miles of southern Kentucky and north central Tennessee. The river flows generally west from a source in the Appalachian Mountains to its confluence with the Ohio River. So it feeds onto a lot of other rivers, or a lot of other rivers feed onto him, feed onto that, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say it's a tidal river then. So that's fine. That just means if a body is in here, if a body if body is in this river, this creek or whatever it is at Bledsoe Creek State Park, Cumberland, it's needle. So it feeds. They get the water in here from other places, off the mountains and all that lot. So it's not tidal, which means, if the body was in here, it could have just floated anywhere now. Could have floated anywhere now. Because it's not tidal. With a tidal and the body's in the water, it means it'll go out so far, but then when the tide goes out, the river goes out, so the body goes out. Yeah? But when the tide comes back in, it pushes the body back up the river again. But this body, if the body was put in this creek, it could go anywhere. But it would have to go that way onto Cumberland River. But then again, it might just be sitting in the bottom of this creek here. Hi, Jen. You okay? I was just playing a video of Bledsoe Creek State Park. And as I said before, right, got me thinking, could that be a park where, because you can take RVs, you can go RVing, you can go Take your fifth wheels, you can take your little trailer, tents, everything. Yeah. You got your electric and your water hookups. Voila, you're away. You can go there for a week, 2 weeks. Right? You can go fishing, you can go kayaking down on the creek. You can do whatever you want there. Well, that RV, that fifth wheel, was picked up from Mississippi on the 28th, 29th of February, but didn't turn up on their driveway till the 14th of March. So where was it for 2 weeks? Could it have been here at this park, this state park? Could it have been parked up on one of their bays there? Could that have been? So far, you're still here. Oh, God. You're not good at, Jen. You're not feeling too good, or what? So that was mentioned a while ago. This park, we did touch on it a while ago, but we didn't really look into it much. And if you go zoom in, it's so much. Right, we're zooming. You got the boat launch, and look at all this tree area. Look at it. All this, all up here. Even where the RVs are, there's RVs, everything. It's a lovely place. I must admit, if I lived in the US, that'd probably be one of the places I'd like to go. On my own. In my little tent. Or my little RV or something. You know what I mean? But it's thick with trees, just so thick with trees. You can't getting down there. Yeah, it won't let me get down there. That's why I was glad it had that video. So if you missed that video, Jen, just go back to the beginning. It's near the beginning. And you'll see the video of Bledsoe Creek State Park. Beautiful place. But it takes you all along here. And all down side roads. Right. So you can go kayaking. But you have to pay if you unless you got your own kayaks, then you don't have to pay. But if you can they rent out kayaks. You've got the boat launch there. I think there's a boat launch there as well. It's just you want to hide something, hide that something. This is a place to hide something. Oh, too many doctors. How are you feeling better, Jen? I really do. I hate going to the doctors. I really do because it's always on the back of my mind. It's always there at the back of my mind. You know what I mean? So when I have to go to the doctors for anything, it's like my anxiety really kicks in big time then when I have to go to my doctors. But look at the area though. wouldn't be fair, yeah. You really would. It's going to be buying by a camper. Someone camping, because you can't take your fifth wheels in these areas, but you can take your, maybe park your car up somewhere and walk in with your tent. Little pop-up tent sort of things that people tend to like. So, could that be a possibility, though, with the fifth wheel? For the 2 weeks that it wasn't on their driveway, being as it made this big, I've got to go and get my fifth wheel. And then he goes and gets his fifth wheel on the 28th of 29th, 28th, 29th of February, right? On the 24th, that's literally 24 days later, he's back down there with the fifth wheel because he goes back to work on the 24th. Why didn't he just leave the fifth wheel there? Why was the urgency to get down to his fifth wheel? Did the police go and do a check on that fifth wheel? No. Have they had dogs over that fifth wheel? No. Because like I said, by the time he got back with that fifth wheel, wherever he kept it, once he brought it back from Mississippi, the search was being called off on the Saturday or Sunday. So it wouldn't surprise me if this was where they put the fifth wheel. No. Well, we got Bledsoe Youth Academy. I do not know. It's like a borstal, which is what our kiddies, naughty boys and girls, go to instead of prison. It's like that. But something I never noticed. I've been all around this map. I've been all over this map. And isn't it funny how sometimes it can take you a while before something clicks in your head? Anyone see anything there? Anyone see anything on that of interest? Exactly. Allegedly, he had a long weekend. But as I said, he won't, even on the day that Sebastian went missing, right? Any decent parent, be it your stepfather or stepmother, whatever, finds out there's a child missing from your home and you're 3 hours away, you're going to drop whatever you're doing and get home. He hadn't even started work when he found out that Sebastian was missing. So the fact that he said, oh, well, I can't just leave the crying and come on home. I have to wait for them to get someone to take over. That is bullcrap. He knew before 7 a.m. that his stepson, was missing. Why didn't he just phone him up, from wherever he was, so I won't be in today. I've got to get back home to Tennessee. My stepson's gone missing. Boom. I'm sure they'd have found someone, because they did find someone in the end, didn't they, at 10 a.m. And it wasn't because he told them about his son being missing. It's because of his attitude stunk. And they pulled him off the crane at 10 a.m. If his attitude hadn't been so stinky, how long would he have been on that crane? How long would he have been until he come home? Thank you, Anne. You said it. Cemetery. Yeah. Perfect place for hiding bodies, isn't it? You need to remember what? Oh no, I've got to go in the kitchen. I've got to go and put the kettle on. You need to remember that. What do I need to remember, Jen? Yeah. Yeah, I could, yeah, I do. Right, but on this map here, you got this cemetery. And that's where the youth academy is. This lovely, lovely youth academy. Right, am I going to go down there? Children there anytime. Yeah. Over my dead fucking body will die. It's even called Cemetery Avenue. Because look. See, our cemeteries are in the UK are fenced in or got walls on all the way around and things like that. And when the gates are shut on the night time, you cannot get in there. But their cemeteries are all open, aren't they? Oh, look, it's a big one. But here's Bledsoe Court. Oh, let's have a look. This is youth, what? Youth Academy or whatever. That looks like a prison, more like a borstal than a place where your children are who need help and understanding and caring and loving. This place should not even be open. And it's literally just down the road from Sumner County Sheriff's Office. And we all know how corrupt Sumner County is. He's not sure where he is. that what makes me think if he's alive. Just bear with me. I know some people don't believe that. I have to think on both. I have to be logical and think both ways. If he's alive, could you be hidden in one of the rooms in the cellar somewhere on this building? Look here. Look at the nice fencing. Don't want them nice children getting out and getting lost, do they? They just don't want the feckers getting out full stop. Now, you got house here, the walking to the cemetery or something, possibly. Let's go here. I'm thinking, is this house where the staff stay, maybe? But look, it's fucking gorgeous there, isn't it? Lovely. I was watching another YouTube channel today, British one, and I went in and made a comment. And at the end, I said, I'm so pleased to find another YouTuber who likes to drop the F-bomb like I do. Keep the great work up. Now, I'm going around the building because there. So how do you know they haven't got rooms in a cellar somewhere? Well, we know for a fact now, just by looking at them depths, right? They've got a cellar. There's space underneath the floors. Because otherwise you wouldn't have them steps going up there and that high up. You'd have to go down here. No steps. Oh, come on. See what I'm... I agree, he's very close. I agree there as well, Jen Yang. He's close. And it's like something else I watched when I've been watching these crime things today. And they've been going on searches, right? From find these children. And the people... And some of them, on some cases, you've got the perpetrators actually helping in the searches. That ain't happening with Sebastian because they know where he is and they know that Sumner County are not going to let anyone go near that area of where Sebastian is. right? But it's just they always try and divert you off from the area to go to where you should look. They take you, don't look here, look here. A bit like Fred Hill is doing in the Summer Wales case. Don't look on Ben Hill Road, look 5 miles away, sort of thing. Why? She's barefoot. How's she going to get all the way up there on her own? You know what I mean? Stinky Feet are playing games. It may be in that cellar. Yeah. There's definitely a cellar there because you've got the steps here. So from here along is cellar. But you haven't got, I can't see any air vents. Like, you know, the air vents you get for cellars. I can't see any. But look at the fucking cemeteries back. That is pissing me off now, that cemetery. It's going to be on my mind now. No, it's not letting me go in there. Okay. But hold on. What am I seeing? What am I seeing? Oh, look. What I see. And they look like they're blacked out or something. I don't know why I've got that on there for. What the hell is that? Thank you. Get off. Knew it. The FBI won't step in because it has to be handed over to them by Sumner County. Sumner County aren't going to do that because they know the fact that when FBI come in, they'll only have to go, boo, to KP and she'll go, oh, it was this, he done it. She'll sit her fucking pants when the FBI come in. And then you got Craig go, oh, it wasn't me. They had me bribed. They had some info on me and they bribed me and all this lot. You know what I mean? They'll be shitting their pants if the FBI was to come in. And that's why they won't hand it over to the FBI. They do have some vents on, and there is a loft area, I believe. Because on the other side, you could actually see a window. Now, there might be a window where Sebastian is, but it could be blacked out. They could have water patches on the inside so we can't see out of it. But this is the place where his darling mother and stepfather wanted to send him. So but it's a lovely place, isn't it, everyone? You've got to agree with me, it's lovely. Who wouldn't want to send their child there for education? And you said it was in that storage unit, and to look at that bed sheet. Oh, the storage unit up by the store opposite the school. That storage unit there by Little Creek, where they found the mattress and a notebook with Katie's name on it and Katie's writing in it. They'd moved him around. But as I said, the more they move him, the more chances are they're going to get caught. Because someone's going to see something going on. I know there's a mattress, but I don't know about a bed sheet. And that mattress I found at the back of that storage unit, could that have been the mattress that was in their garage? I believe he was in that storage unit. I believe he was in there. I believe he's in that fifth wheel for a while. But he's Warsham's, yeah. Yeah. Because the dogs did hit on that storage unit, number 10, I believe it was. So, but why was nothing made of that? Why didn't they go into that even more? If a dog hits at something, why did the police not go into that more? Why, when the mattress was found and the book with Katie's name and writing on it, why wasn't that queried? Right, because Stinky Feet family, no, they are protected at the moment by Sumner County. And I don't give a shit who he's at. Sumner County, you're shit. And you're going to go down. And you know what? I'd be so tempted to buy a fucking plane ticket. Get my passport sorted out and buy a plane ticket just to see you Stinky Feet and you Craddock and all your little cronies in court. But hopefully, if and when that time, well, not if, when that time comes, Court TV will be there, hopefully, and they're normally the ones that get all the court, inside the court, if they have the TV cameras in there. If they allow the TV cameras in there, it's Court TV. Bobby Simmons said it was from mouse droppings. What was from mouse droppings? I never heard anything about a protector sheet. I knew about the mattress, but not about a protector sheet. And if it's from mouse droppings, why? You know what mice are like. They chew everything up. They chew things up to make beddings, make their own little beddings with it. That sheet would have been torn to bits. But yeah, let's go round there to where we can see that window. Definitely a window up in the roof somewhere. Here's up here, I think. There it is. There's the rooms up there. There's 2 rooms up. I'm not sure if there's another one down this side. But we know there's rooms up in the loft. And we know there's rooms in the cellar below. It's not a big place. I must admit, it's not a big place. So I wonder how many children it owns. Hold on. Let's Google it again. How students does it's youth. Okay. Damn. Hold. It's how many people? 26 students it holds in grades 6 to 12. Right, what does it say about this place? It opens up. Yeah, it has 26 students. There's no deadline for application. Source National Centre for Education Statistics. Why? Bledsoe Youth Academy. Tennis student body. Oh, God, fuck off. In grades 6 to 12 with a suburban community setting. The academy 26 students with a student teacher ratio 6 to 1. So it's one teacher. They've got one teacher there. 26 to 1 supported by one full-time teacher. They've got one feck off full-time teacher there. The non-sectarian alternative school has a student population that is 59% students of colour, ranking in the top 20% for diversity amongst private schools in Tennessee. Bledsoe Youth Academy operates under non-sectarian orientation and is affiliated with other special emphasis associations. Oh, total classroom teachers 1. So she's got one teacher for 26 students of all those different ages. Lovely. I get a brilliant teacher now, aren't they? One teacher for 26 students ranging from the grade 6 to grade 12. right? Now, my grandson in the school he's in, they have like different grades in his school, in his class, right? But they don't have 26 students. I think from the photo I've seen on their fridge freezer today, I think 7 students in his class next year. When they go back in August, there's 7 students in that class. Of my grandson's, I went, that's perfect, you know what I mean? Perfect for at least 7 children. But it can range depending on age as well. Some might be a bit older than him, some might be a bit younger than him. But there's not 26. Oh, God, what's happening here? But I just stopped sharing them because, yeah, the dog caught the scent at unit 10 and they just brushed it off. They haven't investigated because it's a cover-up. We all know this. They don't want to know about Sebastian. They want us to stop talking about Sebastian. They want us to stop putting his picture out there. They want us to stop putting the flyers out there, even though they tell us to keep putting the flyers out there. They want us to stop all that. Look at that time when Seth was outside Sumner County Sheriff's Office. How did Craggett come to work that day? Oh yeah, he sneaked in the back door. He could not come out and talk to Seth, or even send one of his goonies out and say, look, if you just come inside, he'll talk to you. You know what I mean? So then Seth could have gone inside and spoke to him. But he wouldn't even acknowledge Seth. Because he's a piece of crap. Yeah, they all need to be fired, lose their qualified immunity, and never be allowed to work in any role as a police officer or a sheriff again. Not when it comes to working with the public. They should not be allowed. But that time, he wouldn't acknowledge Seth. He came in the back door. And on one occasion, Seth knew they was both there, Craggett and his little sidekick, the detective that's supposed to be on the case, right? They sneaked out the back door. They sneaked out the back door and drove away, got in the cars and went away. Because they didn't want to be there while Seth was outside. So, I'm going. I'll try again. Try sharing it again. I don't know what happened. I lost my screen, you see. Everything went white and I couldn't get anything. So I had to stop sharing. That's bad. But it's not a big place. The most they have is 26 students to 1 teacher. Who's there during the night time? They must have more staff than 1 teacher. They must have other staff because who's there to supervise them during the night time? When schooling finishes? You know what I mean? Who's there to supervise those children then? But I'm sure there's one that side as well. Sure, I'm not. There is. Who there was. In the attic. And they've got as well. So where do they... I'd like to know how they work that. 26 students to one teacher. So are they all in one classroom? Right. Then they've got to have a lunch hall. Somewhere where they eat the food. So where their dormitories, where they sleep. Where are their dormitories? I'm trying to see if they've got like a meshing on the window or anything. Yes, they have. They've got meshing on the window. See it? You can see it in this one. You can actually see it in. They've got like a meshing on the window on the inside. Or in the glass itself. What a lovely school. Yep. Shame on them. And I'm going to zoom out and I'm close. This is. Oh, God. Come on. Well, won't it let me zoom come out of it? Now let me come out. Typical. And look at that time when Seth was out there the last time, and that one police officer, one sheriff, flipped him the finger. Now, I'm sorry, you would have had to pin me down because I'd have been across that road kicking 10 tons of shit out of that officer, flipping the finger at the father of a child who's missing. I'm trying to get out of this. I'm going to me. Well, won't you let me come out? No. Okay, let's do it this way then. Hang on. Right, there's the sheriff's office here. Right. There's the sheriff's office. Now where's Bledsoe? Where's the cemetery? Is it that one? Oh yeah. And there's the academy. Right there. And there's Sumner County. It's literally a stone's throw away, sort of thing. There's the Sumner County Sheriff. There's the academy. That's how close it is to Sumner County. Now, who would know more about that place than anyone else? The sheriff. He knows how that place is run. He knows what rooms, how many rooms they've got, if they've got any hidden rooms. He knows all that. So there it is. There and there. Just down the road. And when they're doing that protest, right? They was on this corner. They was stood there. When Betty and Seth and all the others who was doing that protest, honk for Sebastian, right? They was there. Just come down that road, and there you are. There you are. Right there. Right? And they do it in blocks, don't they? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away. I don't understand that block thing. It's 2 blocks down the road. How big is a block? It's a block 2 miles long? 4 miles? You know what I mean? So 2 blocks down the road, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away from the station. Right, and now it's here. But really, sorry, because this is how they was going in. This is how Sumner County was going in through the back door, because that's the detective's office. Craddock was going in this way, in through the doors round there, instead of parking up here, or parking and walking around going in here. But it's literally 4 blocks away. Not county block that low on, it's 3 blocks. But say 4 blocks away. It is walking distance, Jen. Christ, I walk further than that when I have to go to Asda. I walk a lot further than that when I go to Asda. But it's so darn close to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. It just... See, that shows it better, because that's where the academy here is here. And that's where the Sumner County Sheriff's Office is there. And the jail. The jail and this... whatever. It's fucking walking distance. I wonder if Sebastian, if he was hidden there, if he is being hidden there, could hear that going on. But we know what that place is. It's a piece of shit. It reminds when I first looked at that, and I went there and I looked at it on the map. I went, that's a Borstal. You go to any of our Borstal places for our kiddies, our naughty boys and girls. That's what they look like. That. Isn't it funny? It's so close to the sheriff's office as well. Because naughty boys and girls, naughty boys go there. 26 of them are there, plus one. 26 plus one student, I'd say. But that's how fucking close it is. So we've got the Bledsoe Creek State Park, where RVs, fifth wheelers, trailers, tents, you name it, can go. All with electricity and water hookup. And then we've got this piece of shit place here, this shithole, where there's been 5 deaths too. Up until 2024, there've been 5 deaths. Don't know how many there's been since. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, God. Deaths. Reported deaths, it should be, shouldn't it? At Bledsoe Youth. Okay. I don't know if I spelled that right. Let's see. Children are not safe. Allegations of abuse persist at Gallatin. When was this done? Oh, that was 23. 23. Has anyone looked into it since? I don't think they have. So, let's see what it says on this. Right. Details. Children said staff offered them incentives to assault other children. Sanchez wrote in a 17 after visiting Bledsoe Youth Academy in Tennessee, cameras left little privacy to change. Kids suffered rug burns while restrained face down on a carpet. Officials have not kept an adequate database of reports of those restraints and seclusion actions for kids out of state, which could have signaled the problem earlier. That is a clear dereliction of the duty of care entrusted to the Division of Children, Youth and Families, as well as interference with the Office of Child Advocate's oversight obligation. The media attention that followed helped Sanchez accomplish what she wanted most. The State Department of Health and Human Services, which she said had never done an on-site evaluation to certify Bledsoe Youth Academy, promptly returned the boys to New Hampshire. That was where two boys. Now, this is back in 2023. It's just one photo. Children placed at Bledsoe Youth Academy in Tennessee wear color-coded jumpsuits that identify their behavioral and punishment status. The Office of the Child Advocate raised serious concerns about the site this month. But advocates for children want the public to know this is not the only case raising serious concerns about the state's handling of cases when it removes children from their homes over abuse and neglect concern. It's so depending on what their punishment is, as you can see, there's more than one. There's other people there, but they're not teachers. No, I haven't looked into him. I have got it down to look into him. I will do, Jen. And when I find more info, we did cover Richard Bishop. And I found a place where he lived up in New York State, New York, somewhere up there. Not far from a lot of these arcs. There's a lot of arcs in New York and that area. Yeah, ARC, I think it is called ARC. And it's supposed to be one of these managers or whatever of the ARC. But as I said, a lot of the ARCs, they're not all places where the people stay. They could just be a community hall for where they have gatherings, things like that. But I know I found a place of his up by New York. But I will look into him for you. But unless he's in one of those arcs, which he could be, but I don't see how because I can't afford them. That's too fucking expensive. But you see, this place, Bledsoe Academy, I think if they're going to hide him anywhere, if any organisation is going to help them, it's going to be that place because they're so corrupt. Don't forget they'll be getting money off the family for it as well. That's what they need to do. They need to follow the money. They need to follow where are these arcs? Oh God, they're all over the US. There's a lot up by New York way and everything. I'll map it all out again because when my maps got deleted again, right? But I will map them all out again. But I'll do it on Google Maps, not Google Earth. And there's loads up that way by New York way and all that. What are they? They're institutions for places where children can go who've got disabilities for respite and things like that. And some just go there for the day, just to do some activities there. You know what I mean? It's just there for people with learning difficulties. I said they could be there for a few weeks or a few months, or maybe just a day. One day a week they go there. But they are all for children with learning disabilities. So it could be Down syndrome, autistic, they could be mute, you know what I mean, deaf and no speaking. They could have all sort of disabilities. But we can look into that more for you if you want, Jen Jen. I can look into the arcs more for you again. I did cover it, but I don't. When I first cover anything, I don't normally go very deep into it. But I found 20 odd places of the arcs, but I know there's a lot more than that because they're all over the US. And I believe we've got them in the UK as well. So they're just an organisation for children with disabilities, learning disabilities and all that lot. As I said, they might be in these places for a month, 2 months, right? Or some might just be in there for a few days just to give the parents a bit of respite. Some might just go there for the day to do activities. But we can look into that again. But I don't like the fact that they make them wear certain coloured jumpsuit sort of things. That's like being in prison, isn't it? They shouldn't be made to do that. They should be allowed to wear their own clothes. Because you put someone in a red jumpsuit, that's because they're being really, really naughty. It's singling that child out, isn't it? Because then everyone knows why he's wearing that red jumpsuit. And everyone knows why he's wearing a yellow jumpsuit and things like that. Do they? At what? The Ark? Or at Bledsoe? Because Bledsoe Youth Academy, whatever it is, has always been there on my mind. If there's going to be anywhere they're going to hide him, that is a possibility. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying they have. I'm just saying it's a possibility. And then when you got Bledsoe State Park, where you can take fifth wheelers, motorhomes, trailers, tents, and it's just a wooded area. And I mean wooded. Because I wouldn't want to pitch a tent up in that woods in case one of the trees fell. Boom, you're gone. No, I'll just park my tent on this bit of road here, away from the trees. So it's shame. Yeah, it's shameful and degrading. I don't know if they still do that. As I said, this was the latest report was in 2023. And when you think, where was it? When was it they wanted Sebastian to go there around about 2022, around about 2022 was when they wanted him to go there. And Seth said no. Because up until then, there'd been 5 deaths in that place. Where they at, where did I know his name at? Bledsoe Youth Academy or the Ark? Because the Ark would be easy to move him around, you know what I mean? From one place to another. But could they risk their reputation and risk losing everything? I don't think the Ark is. I'd be very surprised if they are. But we can look into that. Like we're looking into the Bledsoe at the moment. What else was there about Bledsoe? Short phone. Now this was in 2023. Children are not safe. Allegations of abuse persist at Gallatin Youth Facility. Follow-up report finds. A Middle Tennessee facility for at-risk youth has come under fire for the second time in 2 months, following a second report released by the New Hampshire Office of the Child Advocate, which chronicled alleged physical, verbal, and psychological abuse uncovered after 2 boys in the state's custody were sent there. Yeah, and they removed them. Boom, get your stuff, you're out of here. Bledsoe Youth Academy, operated by Youth Opportunity Investments. We did look into that as well. It's a 30-bed residential treatment centre for troubled boys aged 12 to 17. I thought it said 26. On their website, it says 26 children. But then again, you've got a bed for the staff there, haven't you? So the facility, previously named Volunteer Youth Academy, has been the centre of multiple News 2 reports after alleged disturbances and issues with children escaping. I don't blame them. I'd be there at the fence cutting the wire for them. Come on, lads. Out you go. The facility level. In early August, News 2 shared the OCI's initial findings, which claim Bledsoe operates on a culture of fear and humiliation. Well, that's obvious because they make them wear different coloured jumpsuits depending on what their punishment is, and fails to provide necessary therapeutic and medical care, adding that its care staff has significant lack of ethical treatment and boundaries. The new report released by the OCI details. I did have that report. I did download that report. I don't know where it's gone. 2 boys were too scared to share. Additional accusation, the 2 boys were too scared to share during their first interview, and the alleged retaliation following the release of the first briefing. The new findings tell us that this treatment is acceptable all the way to the top, and the priority in this facility is not the children. Now, the priority for that facility is money. According to the new report, Bledsoe staff, including the executive director herself, incentivise kids-on-kids violence and encourage the New Hampshire boys' peers to jump them after their first findings were released because they snitched. Fuck's sake. In addition, one of the New Hampshire boys reported that he was removed from his bedroom and had to sleep on a mattress in a hallway, which he perceived as a punishment, the document said. Another boy told officials he was hit hard in the head and abdomen after someone shut the lights off in the bathroom and entered the stall he was in. This sounds like more like a fucking bullshit. The more you read about this, you know what I mean? And this was all going on while the media was watching, the state was aware, you know what I mean? And all down the road, 4 blocks away from Sumner County Sheriff's Office. So, let me just take this off. So, the thing is, there's so many places Sebastian could be, but we know, I think we can all agree that he's close to home. Mainly due to the fact that everyone... Oh. Pesky little thing, got ya. Right? Mainly because Chris and Katie are adamant to look further afield. No. Because he's been moved around, yes. He has been moved around. But we've just got to wait on now. Keep putting his name out there. Keep his picture out there. Keep the pressure up until December. Because that's when I think it's all going to kick off. Something's going to happen in December. Anytime after December the 7th. When he's 18. Because on December the 7th, 2026, he'll be 18. And if he's in any of these facilities, that's when they kick them out when they're 18. They kick them out at the age of 18. They do it here in the UK. Once they hit 18, it's bye-bye. You're on your own. So if he is being kept in a facility somewhere, this is when it'll be after his 18th birthday that it'll all come out. And if not, if he don't show up until February, not until, but if he don't show up by February 2027, the 26th of February 2027, that'll be 3 years. Right? And and don't forget, this is what I forgot to mention at the time. The reason I say 18 is because when he's 18, all these CPS reports, yeah, they'll all be closed. Even the one that's open now will be closed because he's no longer a child. No longer a child. Sounds like they are totally brain. Yeah, I agree. Right? So he's no longer a child. That watching a savings account they've got for him doubles when he's 18. So say he's got $1,000 in there, hypothetically. That doubles to 2,000. when he's 18. Why they'd be so bothered about that? They just know how to chew gum and hide evidence. Oh, yes, Jen. Yeah. Either chewing gum or eating donuts. Sitting with the thumb up the backside. Right? And what else happens when he's 18? Oh, yeah, if he's in an institution like Bledsoe or anywhere, any institution, once he's 18, it's bye-bye, off you go. That's why I say something's going to happen after once he turns 18. I'll be surprised if something doesn't. Put it that way. Because the fact that these 8 channels that we don't hear much of no more. I wonder why that is. Probably because it's not on my analytics no more. It's not coming through on my analytics. Right? And don't hear much from them no more. And you don't hear from Katie and Chris no more. Why is that? Your son and stepson is missing. I'll be out there. Okay, I know you got to get back on with life. Life goes on. You've got to go to work and all that. But that's another sticky problem I have with your job, Katie. Everyone who works for your company has the logo on the van. Why didn't you? And why was it only in February you brought that van? Why in February did you buy that van? Yeah, it was bought in February 2024. That's when she got that van. So that's when she started working for that company. So she hasn't been working for them for that long. And why didn't you have the logo on your van put on? That's a sticky point. Especially when we've just found out about a month or so ago that you'd only bought it in February. February 2024 you got that van. Why was that, Katie? Because we know everyone who works for that company is given a company van. Because it has their logo on it. Sometimes I may not have the company van because I might have to hire out a van because they've got no vans left because of having maintenance done on them or something like that. But you bought that van in February. So when did you start working for your whatever company it is you work for? That's a sticky point with me as well. Real sticky point. Anyway, if you want to go deeper into this, into Bledsoe Academy, I can do. Just let me know and I will go deeper into it. But not tonight. I think I've slagged off the Sonia County Sheriff, Craddock, enough tonight. Piece of shit he is. And like I was saying at the beginning, our government, have you heard, Dan, what our government's planning on doing? Any of these channels, and there's some big channels out there, I watch one of them for all my news. Anything on news, I watch this channel. Right? Because I don't trust mainstream media. I don't trust the mainstream news. None. Don't trust them. So any channel who covers the news and things like that and what's going on in the UK or in Europe or anywhere like that, they're coming down hard on them. They want YouTube to push out the BBC and channels like that, their channels. rather than all these independent channels. But how I thought it worked was it went on how many views you got, how many likes you got, and your comments. So if no one's going to view these BBC channels and whatever, or Channel 4, whatever they want to push out, make us watch, then how's that going to work if no one watches them? Because that's how these channels are pushed out. But they know that, and that's why they want YouTube to push these channels out, mainstream media channels out, rather than these independent channels. So it just means rather than have all these independent channels coming up on your analytics on your YouTube channel, you won't. You'll have to go searching for them. And how can you go searching for them if you don't know the name of them? So that's our government. Free speech in the UK. Did you know that we have free speech in the UK? Yeah, right. Anyway, I'm going to go, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight, you lot. Thank you for your comments. I don't know. Well, my son went out yesterday and he brought me the cord, the extension I needed from my router to my TV box. Right? And he connected it all up for me yesterday. He's just got to come along and ping it all around my door now because I've got a great big feck off wire all over my living room floor. I'm going to trip over it one day, I know I will. Anyway, so I've got my TV, not now, my EE box back up and running. And I don't watch mainstream media, I watch YouTube. Really do. Don't watch any of the other channels. Don't watch BBC One, BBC Two, ITV. Oh, I do. ITV Plus, I think it is. I watch. But I normally watch that like around about this time of night, 10 o'clock onwards. Because I have all my dramas on there. All my dramas that I like on there. Or I go on my Prime Video. And I watch things on Prime Video or Netflix. Which I pay for. I will not buy a TV license because I don't watch any of those crappy fucking channels. So, but channels like the crime channels and all that lot are safe. It's just these independent news media who put themselves through as news media are the ones that would be a hit. Anyway, I'm going. Thank you, Anne. And thank you, Jen, for being here. I will look up Richard Bishop for you. And if I can find enough information out about him, we'll do a live on him. Okay? And the Ark. So until then, everyone stay safe. Please hit that like button. And if you really want to, hit the subscribe and hit the all. Once you've subscribed, go up, click on it again, and go to all and click on there. You get all the notifications then of when I put a video out or when I go live, whenever. So please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you a penny. So until then, stay safe, everyone. Good night.
Never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through